Hey everyone, Invader1 here. Before I get into it, let me tell you a little bit something about this build. So with your Volus Adept, for Stasis, what I do, I like to use Stasis Strength because I like to deal more damage to the target. Recharge speed is not needed. I like bonus power so I can use two powers at once and detonate the Stasis bubble. And that's very important to me. Like that, you could have biotic explosions with this little chubby guy. And rank 6 is obvious. I like the bubble. I like to capture more as many enemies as possible because he's just so tiny. You don't want to get overwhelmed. And if he can just go right ahead and capture a whole bunch of phantoms or whatever enemy that he can capture, that's better. For the bubbles, I like to have damage, and the last one is actually expose. Why? Because you can actually use heavy weapons with him, and whatever enemy you shoot at will, get affected. So this is kind of, think of this like warp, and it's very effective against armor and barriers, which you will see that in this gameplay. This is not against the collectors, even though I have played him against the collectors. He's actually really good against the Praetorians, by the way. When you shoot those bubbles, keep on shooting them at him. Now, in the sense of shield boost, I would have liked to have maxed it out. In this situation, I wanted him to have more training, so I only chose rank 4. I didn't choose impact radius, even though I recommend it. So like that, your teammates can also get affected. They don't have to be too close to you to get affected by this. I also like regeneration, so like that, it's just reducing the delay of the shields, etc. It's just obvious. And if I were to pick rank 6, it's a good build, I will pick protection. Like that, you increase the. I mean, it's kind of obvious if you read it. If you actually look at it, it's just really the best option right there. And you can heal not just your shields, but your ally shields. And if you were to max this out, this is the way I would do it. I would pick rank 6, I would pick protection. And that would be the best way to go. Now, for Volus training, if you wanted to max out, his shield boost, then what you would do is do not go his training up to 5. Here I did. I went for damage and capacity because I wanted him to have at least some weapon damage, and have some weight capacity bonuses so the weapon's not too heavy. And rank 5, I chose power damage so that his biotic explosions are pretty decent and his warp bubbles, are working. But if you wanted to put your shield boost all the way up and be a true support character, then don't pick rank 5 and put it back on rank 6 on the biotic. I'm sorry, on the shield boost. That's the way I would roll. And for his health and shields, I just brought him up all the way just to rank 4. I don't know. I don't see the need to have him fully tanky because he really just doesn't have a lot of health and shields. And now I'm saying this if you're playing with a team. If you're trying to solo or do anything else with this character, then it's a whole different story. But I prefer to be able to use all his abilities and all his powers. And I'll tell you this video gameplay, I am calling this guy truly the true Infiltrator Adept because this guy is just so awesome and I really really like him a lot. Now it's not just because he is the only Volus that I have unlocked, because I haven't unlocked the Engineer and I'm loving the Engineer. There's another Engineer here. You see the other Volus, my buddy Lofroff, he's playing the Engineer, and he's just so good. The Engineer has proxy mine and also has the other mine that detonates. So it's pretty cool. As you can see, this is the Volus's heavy melee. The Volus's heavy melee is kind of like this shield ball. So if you're getting shot at by banshees or any bigger targets, you could do that heavy shield ball. Now his regular melee is, guess what? Tactical cloak. And it works. It actually works. I have had many situations where scions are looking at me and I will cloak, just wait a moment, they'll turn around and actually go after somebody else. So the what it actually works. So pretty much the way I play with this guy, I make sure that I have my warp bubbles. I'm just calling them warp bubbles, guys, because it's just, I don't know, it's just funny. So anyways, I use his warp bubbles and then I make sure that I have them up. I immediately I immediately cast them at the enemy and then I shoot. So I'm using him that way to just kind of debuff the enemy and have a little bit more piercing capability for my weapon, so I can actually take out the enemies faster. Now, if there are enemies kind of like phantoms and or husks or abomination, stuff like that, then what you want to do is you definitely want to use stasis and then your warp bubble, because then you'll do biotic explosions. Besides that, I don't see another way to do biotic explosions with him except for that. Now, what's good about him, and one thing that I do here, is that I am using the particle rifle, and because I have these little warp bubbles, I am doing a lot of fire explosions. And you may not see a lot of the kills like that say fire explosions, but I am doing a lot of them on the character. So what I'll do is I have the particle rifle with incendiary rounds. I believe there were 3 or 4. And what I'm doing is shooting at the enemy and then shoot my warp bubbles to detonate the fire explosion on the enemy and do massive amounts of damage. And that works out. And you can do a lot of that with this character. I mean, you can set off explosions, which is so good. Because right now on, like, check this out. See, I got an enemy on stasis, and then I just shoot my warp bubbles. It works out. And then for whatever's left, then you can go right ahead and finish the enemy off with your gun. Now, the reason I like this guy a lot, I really didn't. I wasn't sure how much I was gonna like him, but I figured that BioWare would do something really good by this character. I mean, at first I was just like, okay, if BioWare is gonna troll us, at least let them troll us, the right way. So they did. What they did is they brought a really funky character. He's hilarious as hell. I mean, it's just so funny. But he has all the capabilities to not just last through platinum, but be a true support character, and not just even a support character, but he's pretty badass. He can actually get some really good kills. He's got tactical cloak, so that's his regular melee. You tap the B button on the Xbox, or if you're in PC, I don't remember what key it is, but it's this regular melee. His heavy melee is the ball that you saw in the beginning, where he'll cover himself like that. He can take a few hits. I don't know the damage reduction on that. I really don't know. Now, he also has stasis, as you guys saw, and he also has his warp bubbles, which also help detonate biotic explosions. So let's say if you have somebody reaving, your warp bubble can detonate that explosion. Just letting you guys know. I was actually just testing this character out earlier in a random gold match, a pug lobby, and it worked out. There was a Sentinel there, and I was just detonating. Just detonating on anything that he shot at, just to test it out a little bit. And also, he has his ops pack little power. Now, the great thing about his ops pack power now, it is really good, because this guy is not just an infiltrator adept, but he is also an infiltrator adept, emergency, medic. Because when he gets to you, what I recommend is, when you're getting a teammate, cloak first, pick up your teammate, and then immediately use his ops pack power. Now, I'm just gonna call it ops pack power or whatever. And once you use that, you'll heal your teammate as they're getting up, because as you know, when your teammate is being revived and he gets up, he doesn't have his shields up yet. His shields have to regenerate. So by using his ops pack power, the moment you're healing, reviving one of your allies, then use that power, and it'll give you protection, and it'll give your ally protection at that moment, and give him the bonus. So that's what I recommend with this guy. Now, a few of the things is that he has a role, guys. Let me tell you about his role. It is so freaking hilarious. Now, the great thing about his role, I don't think you see that in this gameplay, because I don't think I dodge Banshee Warp quite a bit here. I keep on cloaking, and his cloak is just so good. I keep on cloaking, so that's kind of like how I get around and get away with not getting killed. By the way, the engineer, Volus, also does this too. He can also cloak, by the way. So anyways, the way that he does is, when a banshee is shooting a warp at you, just wait like right before it's about to hit you, and just do a roll. It's freaking hilarious. It always works. It's just so good. You can get away from a banshee warp so easily. So I'm just gonna be totally honest with you. This guy can actually not only take down banshees, but he can dodge banshee warp balls. I mean, you just do your little roll right now, the way I'm doing it, and you see that he can dodge banshee warps. So that's just a great thing about this little guy. And I decided to play with this little guy. I am gonna show you some gameplay with the collectors. I have used them against collectors already. I just didn't want to post that match because we just didn't extract. Sometimes we get to wave 10 or whatever. I mean, we always get to wave 10, but sometimes the extraction gets a little tough. So I'm creating tactics for extraction on different maps too. But yeah, we have done it. I have used him against the collectors, and he is just really really good against them. So I definitely recommend the Volus, and stop kicking people out of your lobbies if they have a Volus. Yeah, totally understandable that people are just getting to know the character right now. But what I actually did after this match, I took my buddy Lofroff and we just said, let's have fun with this. So him and he and I were in just one lobby, and we opened up the room to two other players. And just for the heck of it, we were just like playing really hardcore with the Voluses, and it was funny to see because the other players were playing fine. There was nothing wrong with them, and we decided, well, let's play hardcore. Let's show these guys how awesome the Volus is, and we totally outscored the game. I mean, it was just crazy. There was a Sentinel, you mean Sentinel, and there was another character, I don't remember. I think, there was a Demolisher, casting grenades all over the place. So we were just like, oh, let's show these guys what the, what the little boluses do. It wasn't a pride thing either, it was just for fun, just to see, how people will respond or react to having these little boluses in the game. And they actually responded well. One of the other guys wanted to continue playing with us. One of the other guys seemed to be playing really hardcore. It was funny. He all of a sudden, like, his gameplay was fine, and then I don't know. I guess he was looking at the score, and then he started playing very aggressively. So that was interesting. But anyways, guys, the Volus can be such a great support character. It's kind of nice to have one in the team. You can definitely have two. I mean, I'm thinking of possibly doing an all Volus Platinum. I mean, it's just very doable. I already did an all Volus Gold run, and probably should have recorded that, but I didn't. It was just we were just having fun and just it was last minute thinking. But anyways, guys, the Volus right now, the Volus Adept is truly the Infiltrator Adept. Like, he is just so freaking awesome. As you can see, I cloak all the time. Anytime I get to see somebody coming at me, I am cloaking right away. Look at this, cloaking, and then I am getting my warp balls ready so that when I see an enemy, I already have my recharge speed for the stasis bubble, and then just detonate them with my warp balls. If I don't have my recharge already up, I'll pick either or power, and at least I have my gun, which gives me enough of an advantage to be able to take out the enemies. So as you can see, guys, this is my Volus Adept gameplay, and I gotta be honest with you, these little guys have given us so many freaking laughs that I don't even know what to tell you. I've just been having a lot of fun with these little kids. They're just so cute, and they're funny looking, and they're and they talk hilarious. It's so funny. Oh, here, see, I didn't dodge the banshee warp ball because I didn't know. But when I do know, and she's actually shooting at me, well, I did dodge it there, but it hit. It hit a barricade, but you can definitely do your little roll, and you'll be able to dodge the banshee warp ball, and it's just so good. It works really good. And the great thing is that they give this guy stasis. I freaking love it. I don't know what was designed, what went behind the design work on why give him like all these warp bubbles. I think it's just freaking hilarious. It is funny that he's just this chubby round character. He's got these like little round bubbles just floating around his waist. It is really funny. He is truly the biotic god. But anyways, he is really good, guys. And this is the platinum Volus. I call him this way because this is a platinum run. Yeah, it is against Cerberus, but I figured one of the reasons why I showed it against Cerberus and not the collectors here was also because my buddy Bluffruff wanted to get some extra cash, and he's like, let's just play a regular, Cerberus Platinum. And at the same time, it also gave me the opportunity to show how great his stasis is, so he can actually handle, the Platinum Phantoms. He can put them into stasis, and he can really take them out. The Dragoons are made out of, I mean, they have armor, so the Dragoons do not get tied down by Stasis. So you'll definitely have to be careful with them. Although from what I'm seeing, the Dragoons are not really that difficult at all. I mean, yeah, they have armor, and I think they need to have that because they don't really shoot much. So since they don't really shoot much, and when they do shoot at you, it's just not that bad. So I mean, they just pretty much want to smash you with their whips. And I gotta be honest with you, I think they look freaking cool. My buddy Long John doesn't like them. He calls them the derp guards, but and so does Lofroff. But I actually like them. I think they look really cool. They look so like real, and the way they move is just they seem realistic. I mean, like I told you guys in the previous video, I had never seen the Dragoon before, and I just went into a platinum versus the collectors, and I see this enemy coming at me. But the thing is, I thought it was one of my, I thought the Dragoon was one of my allies, and I am there thinking, just running right past them, just thinking, okay, great, that must be Long John or Lawfroth or whoever, and then it hits me. I'm like, wait a second, nobody in this team is a human character except one guy. He's a destroyer, so it kind of hit me. But what's funny is that the Dragoon just passed right by me. It didn't even shoot at me. I didn't shoot at him. We just kind of like, I should have given him a fist bump or something, and just keep on going. But anyways, it was just so funny the way they look, because of the fact that we've already been used to playing with Phoenix Adepts and Phoenix Vanguards, that we're so used to seeing that kind of character, that we automatically, our brains, or my brain assumed that that was a friendly. But that's not the case. Now against those guys, since you can't use stasis, I definitely recommend just keep on using tactical cloak. By using tactical cloak, you can go right ahead and get away from the enemy. Be able to then use your warp bubbles and shoot the derp guards, the dragoons, as much as you can to just destroy them. Now, I'm using the particle rifle, guys. I know that the second time, you see me in the new platinum using the particle rifle. The reason is because I wasn't that great with the particle rifle before, but I've been really working the particle rifle. Oh, by the way, guys, this would have been almost flawless here, but I decided to stop for a moment, and I got a phone call at the moment, so I pressed the start button. Just my brain just went directly to that, and that was the beginning of the wave, and I got killed because I stopped for a moment. But anyways, that was not a that was not a noob moment. I had to do something at the moment. But anyways, so yeah, I so in regards to in regards to the particle rifle, I am actually getting really freaking good with it, and I've been really enjoying it because, oh, here goes the derp guard. Look at him. Ah, man, I don't know. I think he looks so freaking cool. A lot of people don't like him as an enemy, but I think he's really cool. I like the fact that he's around, look at that guy, has a fire explosion on him. But anyways, so yeah, I've been enjoying the particle rifle and trying to get really good at it and making sure that I am using it accurately, and trying to make sure that I am getting my shooting skills a little better. Even though I'm still pretty good with the shooting skills, but I'm trying to make sure that I keep them up, and I keep them attuned. So that's why I'm using the particle rifle a little bit. I will make sure that the next gameplay, it's not a particle rifle, so like that, you guys are not like, okay, what's going on? Yeah, I don't have the particle rifle, blah 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 blah. So the next few gameplays, actually, I would not have the particle rifle. I still have a gold duo that I did with the new Tyrian Havoc soldier. Now, what's interesting about that duo, by the way, guys, is that it would have been almost flawless if I knew how to use him. It was the first time me using him, first time even going on Firebase White. So there was I think wave 3. I mean, I had to use like so many gels because it got crazy, and then after that, after I figured out his stim packs and how to work them, then I was like, wow, this guy is awesome. And then after, I think I only died once after that, and that was like by extraction or something like that. And then I actually extracted. But those Deuterians with the stim packs, I mean, they don't die. I mean, they'll die maybe once or twice, but if you really know how to use them, they're just like a beast. They're awesome. They just don't die. But anyways, guys, we're having fun here and having a good time. By the way, guys, you see those little medals that show up? Right now, the game has challenge points. You actually get points for using each weapon. You get points for using missiles. You get points, challenge points for using your biotic powers, biotic explosions, to using certain characters, fighting certain enemies. I mean, you just get a whole bunch of stuff. You even get challenge points for solos, which I wish that was retroactive because I already done a whole bunch of them. There is one for platinum solo which I still haven't completed. I keep on getting to the last one I did, got to wave 8. So whatever, I'll get it done one of these days. I like doing the team thing now that we got this going, and I'll do a solo and see what I can do it with. So anyways, guys, so yeah, if you definitely want to have fun with the Volus Adept, guys, you don't need a lot of fitness on him, even though, yes, he is weak. And if for whatever reason, guys, I actually had to clutch a wave one time. It was in this match, but it was, I don't remember. It was another match that we played. And I had to clutch 2 times, I think, and two times on platinum, and one time on gold, and I was fine. I mean, I kept on cloaking, shooting, taking everything out, debuffing with the warp, and any other enemies that were not armor targets, I would use stasis on them, and then detonate them with the warp bubbles. So. And if I really needed full protection, I would use the heavy melee. I don't use the heavy melee a lot, which is the big ball of protection that he has. I don't have a lot of moments that I need it because you stay immobile at that moment. Um, so I'd rather stay more mobile, even if I have to roll this meatball like out of there. I would do that instead of just having to stay there and take shots from any enemy. I think it might be helpful if there's a prime who's got you cornered, you have no choice, and you want him to finish his 3 shots. You use that heavy melee, and I don't know the damage, the resistance to damage that heavy melee has, but hopefully you guys will know. But anyways, it just should be somewhere in the forums or something like that. But I don't know, but it actually protect you quite well. So these little guys were definitely set up to be successful, and I don't care what anybody says. They're not just freaking comedic. They don't just have comedic value, because they definitely do. They sound funny. They talk funny. They're freaking hilarious. They're tiny. We were playing another game with all Voluses, and one of my buddies had a claymore. And I was just asking. I was like, "How are you gonna, bring that gun into the battlefield? Like, are you gonna put wheels on it? I mean, like, because it's like the guns are so much bigger than him. I mean, I could just imagine the Volus with the Typhoon. Now, mind you, when I do, since I am using the particle rifle with this guy, it is a heavy gun for a guy like this. So what I am doing, I always have a power recharge module for the armor bonus, always. And the reason I stay alive, guys, a lot is because I'm playing a team game. This is platinum, yeah, it's not gold. It's definitely more difficult, but as you can see, I'm pretty much surviving through this without an issue. That is because I have an entire team, and his tactical cloak, just, it's so good. It's real. It works. I'm telling you, I've had signs right in front of me. And I'll cloak, I'll back up a little bit, and then they'll kind of like forget about me and go after somebody else. Now, mind you, that's not perfect. No game is perfect, and nothing ever works perfectly, but it works close to perfectly, and it is just that good that I go around with my tactical cloak and debuffing everything. So if you have any role with the adept, as a team, your role will be, okay, to debuff everything with your warp, because your warp bubbles, because they do the same thing as the regular warp. So when you use them, you debuff the enemies if you have the piercing set up on the warp bubbles on rank 6, and which I do, and that's just preferred. Not only that, for enemies that are not armored, your job is to put them on stasis. So like that, everybody else can kill them, and you can also detonate them. Your other job is to be a medic a little bit, because you also have the ops pack power, And so you can constantly spam it if you like here, like I'm doing in the hack. I'm spamming it here and there, making sure that my teammates are receiving their shields. If they're down, and if they're down, you can cloak, pick up your ally, pick up your buddy, and then as soon as you see your buddy get up, use the ops pack power. Why? Your stim pack. Oh, it's not a stim pack, but it's. I'm gonna continue calling it your abstract power. Use the abstract power, so at least when your teammate gets up, he gets healed right. His shields get healed right away. He doesn't have to recharge, and that will be your role. Your role will be to debuff, to be a medic, and to stop non-armored targets. So he definitely works. And now let me tell you something about the new Praetorians. His warp bubbles set up the way I described them, guys, definitely work against the Praetorians. It's really good against its barriers. I was using it, and I will show you some gameplay. I will definitely record it. Um, I will see if I could just bring, here we have two Voluses. I'll see if maybe I could bring, four Voluses or something like that. Um, which is a little crazy. It would be a little crazy, but I think it's definitely doable because they're just what now that people are really getting to understand them and really know how to use them. They're getting to understand that Bioware didn't just troll us with a funny character. They actually did make him useful. The only thing is about this character is that he can't jump over counters. You can't jump over barricades. But he's so short that you can actually get behind cover and you won't get hit, which is pretty awesome. Some cover you do get hit if the enemy is shooting right down at you, but you just got to be very careful, and that's why he has his tactical cloak. So because of his cloak, that's why they give him a cloak because he just can't take cover. The other thing is that he can't get a grab on enemies, so you can't get behind cover and grab an enemy and throw them around. You can't do that because he's just this chubby little meatball. But he can't reach, so he's got those capabilities. He doesn't have those capabilities. Sorry, but anyways, it's just I gotta be honest with you. This is just so funny watching these little guys. It's just so funny. I gotta be honest with you. There's another clip I think I want to cut for you guys. It was for the first time we ran platinum, and my buddy Lofroff decided to use his Volus, and he was clutching Wave 7 like all by himself, and it was so funny to watch. And I'm thinking just to cut that little part and just edit it and just put it up for you guys, just for the laugh. It was just so funny, the character. I mean, we were just dying, and in the background all you hear is just laughter. I mean, we were choking, we couldn't even breathe. It was that funny. There goes Lofroff with his little. It's just it's so hilarious. But anyways, guys, here goes the true Infiltrator Adept, the Volus Adept. He is the real gangster Volus Infiltrator Adept because he is definitely a beast. This little tiny little gremlin here. But anyways, whatever. I hope you enjoyed that gameplay. I hope that you realize that the Volus is definitely platinum worthy. As a matter of fact, somebody already solo platinum with the little guy, so which it was obvious to me that it would happen. I got friends of mine who were already gonna try to do it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. The Volus Infiltrator Adept definitely rocks. And Video 1 out.